Wheelchair tennis is an adaptive sport that allows individuals with physical disabilities to play tennis while using a wheelchair. The game follows most of the same rules as able-bodied tennis, with a few key modifications to accommodate the use of a wheelchair. Here are some basics to get you started.
Rules and modifications.
Wheelchair movement. Players use a wheelchair to move around the court. Unlike traditional tennis, players can push their wheelchairs to move and are allowed 2 bounces of the ball, which provides additional time to react. Bounce rule. The ball is allowed to bounce twice before it must be returned. The first bounce can occur anywhere on the court, and the second bounce can be within the court's boundaries. This rule helps level the playing field, giving players extra time to reach and respond to the ball. Wheelchair handling. Players are allowed to lift their wheels off the ground as long as they maintain control of their wheelchair and hit the ball within the rules. This adds a layer of skill to maneuvering the chair effectively while playing. Court dimensions. The court dimensions are the same as in able-bodied tennis. However, wheelchair tennis players often use the full width and length of the court effectively, including the use of the extra bounce. Scoring. The scoring system in wheelchair tennis mirrors that of traditional tennis. Games, sets, and matches are scored the same way, with points awarded as 15, 30, 40, and game point. Wheelchair. Specialized tennis wheelchairs are designed for better maneuverability, speed, and stability. They often have a lower center of gravity and are built to withstand the rigors of the sport. Tennis racket. Players use standard tennis rackets, though some may choose a racket with a specific grip or weight that suits their playing style. Tennis balls. Regular tennis balls are used, but they are sometimes slightly altered for different surfaces.
Competitions and organizations.
Competition ITF, wheelchair tennis. The International Tennis Federation, ITF, governs wheelchair tennis and organizes major tournaments, including the Wheelchair Tennis Grand Slam events and the Wheelchair Tennis Masters. Paralympics. Wheelchair tennis is also featured in the Paralympic Games, showcasing the sport at an elite level. National and local leagues. Many countries have their own national wheelchair tennis associations that organize local and national competitions, and organizations. Wheelchair tennis has a rich history that reflects its growth from a niche activity to a widely recognized and competitive sport. Here's a brief overview of its development.
Origins.
Early beginnings. The concept of wheelchair sports dates back to the 1940s and 1950s, with early activities including basketball and table tennis. The idea of adapting tennis for wheelchair users began to take shape in the late 1950s and early 1960s. 1950s. The first known wheelchair tennis game was played by a group of veterans in the United States who were injured in World War II. They adapted tennis to be played in wheelchairs, laying the groundwork for the sport. 1976. The first official wheelchair tennis tournament was held in the United States. This event was pivotal in establishing wheelchair tennis as a formalized sport with organized competitions. 1980. The International Tennis Federation, ITF, officially recognized wheelchair tennis as a sport. This recognition helped to standardize the rules and promote the sport on an international level.
Growth and development.
Growth and Dev, 1981. The first wheelchair tennis world championships were held in the UK, marking a significant milestone in the sport's development. 1988. Wheelchair tennis made its debut as a demonstration sport at the Seoul Paralympics. This exposure helped to further legitimize the sport and increase its visibility. 1992. Wheelchair tennis was officially included in the Paralympic Games in Barcelona. This inclusion marked a major achievement, bringing the sport to a global audience and providing a platform for the world's top players to compete. Modern era 1990s to 2000s. The sport continued to grow with the establishment of the Wheelchair Tennis Masters and the expansion of the ITF Wheelchair Tennis Tour. Major tournaments, including the Australian Open, French Open, Wimbledon, and US Open, began to include wheelchair divisions, providing top-level competition and increased exposure. 2000s to present, wheelchair tennis has continued to gain prominence, with increased media coverage and sponsorship. The sport is now well established in many countries, with a robust international competitive circuit and a growing grassroots movement. Lotment, Brad Parks. Often credited as a pioneer of wheelchair tennis, Brad Parks was a key figure in developing the sport in the early days. He is known for his contributions to the rules and promotion of the game. David Hall. Another influential figure, David Hall has been a leading player and advocate for wheelchair tennis, contributing to its growth and visibility on the global stage. Novak Djokovic and Serena Williams. In recent years, prominent tennis players like Djokovic and Williams have expressed support for wheelchair tennis, helping to raise awareness and encourage inclusivity in the sport. Today, wheelchair tennis is a well-established and respected sport, with competitive leagues, international tournaments, and a strong community of players. It continues to evolve, with ongoing efforts to improve accessibility, promote inclusivity, and expand the sport's reach worldwide. Overall, wheelchair tennis has come a long way from its modest beginnings, and now stands as a testament to the adaptability of sports and the determination of athletes. Wheelchair tennis, like any sport, has its share of humorous moments and stories. Here are a few lighthearted and funny aspects of wheelchair tennis that players and fans often enjoy. 1. The unpredictable bounces. With the added bounce rule in wheelchair tennis, the ball can take some surprising turns. Players sometimes face off against a ball that seems to have a mind of its own, bouncing in unexpected ways and causing both players and spectators to laugh as they scramble to react. 2. Creative wheelchair designs. Some wheelchair tennis players customize their chairs with unique designs or decorations. From flashy colors to personalized logos, these customizations can be quite eye-catching. Occasionally, players add humorous touches like funny stickers or even sports-themed paint jobs that make their wheelchairs stand out. 3. Accidental collisions. Given the fast pace and the maneuvering required in wheelchair tennis, players sometimes find themselves in funny collisions or near misses with each other. These moments, while often harmless, can result in some amusing entanglements or surprised looks. The wheelie trick. Players sometimes use a wheelie as part of their strategy, lifting their front wheels off the ground to reach balls or change direction. This maneuver can sometimes lead to funny, unexpected moments when the player overbalances or performs a wheelie that turns into a mini stunt. 5. Chasing after the ball. In wheelchair tennis, players are often seen making determined yet comical efforts to chase down stray balls. The combination of speed, skill, and occasional overenthusiasm can result in some humorous, exaggerated dives or rapid, zigzagging movements across the court. 6. Synchronized spins. When players perform synchronized spins or turns while retrieving the ball, it can look like a coordinated dance routine. This is especially amusing when players are on opposite sides of the net, trying to outmaneuver each other in an almost choreographed fashion. 7. Friendly rivalries and banter. Players often engage in friendly banter and playful rivalries, both on and off the court. The camaraderie among players
Rules
can
and
lead to funny
modifications.
exchanges and jokes about each other's playing styles, strategies, or even the occasional mishap. 8. Hilarious commentary. Tennis commentators and fans sometimes add a humorous touch to wheelchair tennis matches with witty remarks and playful commentary. This can add an extra layer of fun to the viewing experience, making the matches enjoyable for everyone. 9. Unexpected celebrations. After a particularly challenging point or a well-executed shot, players sometimes celebrate with unexpected or humorous gestures. These can range from over-the-top fist pumps to playful dances in their wheelchairs. These moments not only highlight the fun side of wheelchair tennis, but also showcase the joy and enthusiasm players bring to the sport. Despite the challenges and competitive nature of the game, the humor and camaraderie among players make wheelchair tennis a truly enjoyable experience.